Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Pick a Pile where we're gonna read about your love life today. I don't know how I'm gonna title the reading for the purpose of it being like a little bit better in terms of length, but the reading is how is your love life looking like currently? So we're gonna get into it because I don't know. One, I want to do something that's fucking light. I'm not gonna lie, because of the collective energies, and everything. And some people don't want or like the idea of a reading about love life, right? Because they're just not there for it, or it's not their thing at all, completely, which is fine too. I will probably do some type of reading to balance it out as well. I don't know what reading I'm gonna do to balance it out because I feel like I might just do a collective reading on where the energy is currently globally, collectively. So we will see what occurs, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Gonna choose the Oracle. The universe has your back. Oracle deck. The Oracle has your universe. Um. Yeah, I'm sorry. Today is not my day. I was like even hesitant on doing a reading. My intuition is there. It's just I've had some weird shit and it's kind of like I don't know. Could be just going through a weird evolution thing. Could be some other stuff. Either way. I still want to do a reading and have fun with it, so let's just have some fun today. Obviously, not every message is going to be fun for everyone. Use your discernment, as per always. I only want to really read the bottom one. So in any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. So yeah, I think that's self-explanatory. We're gonna move on. I'm just wondering if I'm gonna do reversals or not. I think I am. Reversals are just fun for me because it's interesting when you get the same message but it's inverted, reverted, whatever, right? And what can come from just that small detail. I know that readers some don't do reversals for either the simplicity of it or just getting into details through their own intuition. I just like, for the time being, having reversals, but I might stop doing them at some point. So I feel like I'm gonna read all of them out for anyone that really can't see, because it's kind of like on my screen in and out. Could be because of the lighting, so I'm just gonna read it out. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow, is the first pile. Number two is I am spirit having a human experience, and I am here to get closer to love. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world, is number three. Surrender to a power greater than me, is pile number four. And pile number five is when I lean towards love, I am led. So there we go. Those are the piles. Go check out whichever one you want. And yeah, we're gonna get into pile number one. Hello, pile number one. If you chose this card, I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. Reading upside down is, reading upside down. But I'm also feeling like I want to pull one card from the deck itself as well. I don't know what for, I just want to. So this feels like a single file. I did kind of pick up like some of you, not many, are about to be single, and you're kind of pretty much aware in it, or I don't know, you're coming up to it. But mostly this is a singles pile that kind of has lost a bit of hope or has been in a position where, yeah, think things are not like that bad, but they're not perfect or amazing or great. It's kind of like I wish I had someone to share my life with type of vibes. Like, yeah, we have two owls. There's not all the owl cards out here. I think there's only like two. Maybe there's like a, I don't know, one, two, three, maybe three cards with owls, but I think it's only like these two that really stick out to me most of the time. So definitely mostly singles and or people that are about to freaking break up. And also feeling a certain way about connections. You're right on your own. You are independent. You do focus on self-love. You do work towards your own goals and desires and aspirations. You're a very steady person. You have your values and your morals in check when it comes to like what you desire from a relationship, what type of person you are, how how you go on dates, how like everything. You just know your style when it comes to this type of stuff, but you don't necessarily have someone with you. You have your own back, though. You are supported, and you're kind of like vibing with life, being that, bachelor, bachelorette, just in independent single Pringle. And some of you are definitely ready to mingle, but you haven't found your person. It hasn't been very obvious to you. You might be one of those people as well that doesn't really go through apps or anything. Like you find people through life, if that makes sense. So you join groups, you go on, different types of internet communities that aren't just dating apps. You meet through friends and through work colleagues, and you go into different events or parties or bars. In general, like you go through different ways of like just living your life and then meeting people, and you know that it hasn't happened for a while because there's a reason to it, and you're fine to have that experience. You just kind of are feeling like the blues of, I wish I had someone to like really hang out and, like be close with. Um, it's literally kind of just having company vibes is what's coming across the most. Someone to talk to, someone to enjoy the things you enjoy with, someone to have just like that presence with, someone to get tired of is something that just came in, which is kind of funny. Like, I want someone to get annoyed about. I feel like that's kind of specific because not everyone really understands that aspect of relationships or gets it or feels it to that case, but I feel like there's someone that really gets it. Like, I want to get annoyed about someone. I really miss that feeling. I don't know why, but that really is coming through strong. So, yeah, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. Yeah, you're holding on to that faith. You know that magic has to be in the air type of thing. Like it's not just a physical meeting. It's you get that love is a eternal thing that just kind of comes and goes when it's time. And there's a connection that's gonna happen when the magic is going to be there or when there's going to be that energy, right? Maybe I don't know, some wacky shit starts happening with your dreams. Maybe something else starts showing you signs, right? Maybe the world, the universe. Maybe you just start getting a feeling, right? Maybe you just start getting a feeling. Okay. I was like, how do I put them? I feel like I do need to have the bottom of the deck up here. So the thing that is not really bothering you as well. I don't know, you have like a lot of faith or something. Like your spirit and energy is very strong about this. Attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form of separation or merely calls for help. So you're not really giving into the blues of it or the process or the hardship behind it. I'm trying to decide on a deck and I'm having so much trouble today. I fucking can't. This is a weird ass day. I was thinking about doing Twitch today and I'm like, I don't know if I can. Let's do this one. If I'm gonna want to switch, I'm gonna want to switch, whatever. I don't know, maybe we're not gonna have too many cards from the tarot. Maybe it's gonna be mostly a Oracle deck. But yeah, you have a lot of faith behind you. It's kind of like there's a trusting feeling in the spirit, and also with your higher self, especially if you're like a spiritual person or you kind of are like a conscious person that's like a deep artistic introvert or very, I don't know, like conscious is the best way that I can describe this energy. It's not necessarily just a spiritual person. You could be. Obviously, watching tarot inclines that you are some type of person that is interested by spirituality or some sort of faith, maybe even religion, but this seems more so like you are a conscious, aware individual that is quite lucid in many states, in many different frequencies or vibrations, many different, consciousness states. Um, I don't know, you don't really go down into like being numb or zombified too much is what I also pick up. Your dreams could be very vivid. You could be a lucid dreamer. Not all of you though. I feel like most of you are just conscious, like very sharp. Very, very sharp. You can see that everything is connected in life. Just pull some three cards off the top. Yeah, okay, so I did feel this energy previously before, but because this is such a strong personality, yeah, and we're having it clarified with the top, like bottom of the deck too. I didn't say anything because you're holding balance. You're a very, very strong, independent person that knows how to like carry themselves, hold themselves, and go through life and do what they need to do to get shit done. Um, the issue you're currently facing is like some how do I want to like relay this? Sometimes to find and seek out love, you need to go through the process of love, what it is for you. In this case, in sense, is as much as you are a strong individual, you're leaning into it so much you're ignoring the story of love within your own life, and I'm pretty sure it's because one, you've had experiences where it's left you, you know, more than just displeased and it's pushed you to become this person, one, but two, there might be deeper aspects like within that you need to look over. It's not necessarily looking back to your previous relationship. It could be actually going further back to your childhood and how you saw your parents actually have a relationship and what that instilled about how you view yourself as a man or a woman, right? And how it's like educated you to be a part of a relationship or who to seek out even, right? What type of values you have or even what turns you on is kind of coming across, like what attracts you. But there's also a case of like you need to kind of get out of your own way and explore whatever you need to leave behind and what assumption you have about relationships or what like idea, belief, or attachment you have behind how they work for you specifically. I don't think it's how you see it in the world, society, or other people. Maybe sometimes if you like feel like it's reflecting something back to you or attributing something to you, but primarily it's literally like you gotta take a chance on yourself to go towards looking at the practical experiences and what signs they have about how your love life has gone, what like beliefs it's instilled within you, where are the roots of that, right? And to actually take the journey of going away from that. The reason you're not taking it is because you would need to feel vulnerable, weak, and uncomfortable and emotional in general, and those things do not compute to you to be a person of like, independence, stature, stability, confidence. In general, you think that would actually make you less attractive or more susceptible to partners that you don't want to have, or it would just recreate the same things that you've had that you didn't like that have pushed you to be this balanced, independent, strong individual in the first place. And it's not fun. but it is something that needs to happen if you want to move forward and find your freaking queen. Like, we have the counterparts here, man. We, woman, man, whoever you are, they, them, like, we have the counterparts card for a reason here. So this is a very cosmically aligned and connected reading. In general, this is also a very cosmically aligned and connected, um, like vibe of you, but also vibe of your story, your love story. And I feel like if some of you are like seeking out a real soulmate or counterpart, this is definitely for you. And if you're not, if you just believe of like there's people that are compatible and there's people that are not compatible, and I just need my compatible person, this is also for you because this is literally talking to people of the same suit, right? People of the same cloth or I the freaking sayings are going out my freaking head. Um, Something with the fucking feathers. I can't remember what the hell the saying is. I was really close to that saying too, so it's kind of funny. But cut from the same cloth. Just something like that is reflected between you as being same, or is connecting you to be like that couple, right? That couple. I don't know what that means to you, but that couple is a real thing to you in your journey, and it can happen. It's just it takes you going out on a limb to really learn something or take a new approach in terms of what it is love and passions are for you, and what was maybe lust, what was maybe attachment, what was maybe kind of moving too quick for the purpose of like getting married right away or getting into a relationship so you're actually like not mocked in, I don't know, high school, or you're respected amongst your peers, right? Or your family gets off your fucking back and they stop commenting and trying to hook you up all the time. Whatever it was that really upset you and moved you to a position where you couldn't really look at love again the same way, or you couldn't be so open about like the magical aspects of it for you, right? It's kind of looking at that. If you're a person that's really looking to a stable home life and being, I don't want to say like affluent because some people like see it in a different specific sense, but well off. Good happy home, good happy like income, everyone's looked after, everyone has what they need. Um, both parties are independent, but also it's not codependent because of it. It's kind of like equal give and take in a proper supportive system, right? Like a happy home from both efforts, and those two worlds can join, come together. This is really like speaking to that type of relationship and to that type of vibe. Something real, something solid, something um, grounded, earthy, something quite like realistic is how it's coming across. It's not um, it's not out of the realms of possibility. You could also be looking in the wrong places, is what's coming across. If everything else is not like clicking with you, let's say you've went to therapy and you worked through everything about the relationship stuff we spoke about, right? And you're still here. Me stirring on my words though still is kind of, I don't know, that's giving me an inkling that there's still something emotional to dig into rather than just to ignore it and say like, oh, you just need to believe in yourself and that this is real and not out of the realms of possibility and you just need to look somewhere else. No, this feels like it will appear right away in your reality the way it needs to happen. And you will feel it shifting and changing once you take this new different approach at looking at like how you've invested in relationships in a different way that wasn't healthy or conclusive to you because of upbringing, and then you had like relationships stack on top of that and kind of dig it in deeper, you know what I mean? Put a weight on it. And that kind of sunk it all in a bit more instead of you just looking at it and then uprooting it and throwing that crap out and being like, no, there's something better out there for me, and I will find it through using my strength to go through this emotional transformation, like this personal upheaval and an emotional transformation instead of like being left out in the cold and like, you're a king upside down in a world where you can't find your queen right side up because it's out there for you. And just believe a little bit is how it's coming across, and have the strength to have that emotional conversation with yourself instead of constantly being like, just keep shining. Someone will see you. Everyone sees you. It's just, there's a different thing happening that is deeper and more like spiritual and energetical, slash just emotional, like, and you are attractive, but it's literally like a cosmic thing, right? Like you're not attracting because there's a different thing you want, and you just need to shift your value to be the magnet for it. So, yeah, I hope this helps. Thank you very much for having this reading and coming about. I appreciate you. Leave me a like if you did have help with this or from this. And if you want to check out more of me, go check out the links below with my link tree for Twitch and gaming and other goodness. Yeah. Bye. Hello, pile number two. So I'm getting like messages right off the bat when I start these piles. This feels like this is a twin flame pile. And I usually don't like instantly proclaiming that or telling that or saying that. If you don't believe or subscribe to that and it's a little bit wacky for you, then a counterpart that's kind of particular or specific, or your favorite soulmate out of all of the freaking soulmates you have, right? Someone that you really, really click with. It's kind of like the vibe you want to go for in life when it comes to love counterparts and the idea of like a happy home, happy relationship, marriage, partnership, whatever it is. Maybe it's even something beyond the realms of like those labels, right? But it is a case of like a kindred spirit that really feels like home is what's coming across. And people that pick this pile are kind of on that journey to begin with. So that being said, you are going through an evolution to realize something deep within so you can see and find that person when you actually meet them is how this is going. What are we doing? Which deck? I I guess tarot, because it is specific. If you have tarot, it's always gonna be like bow. Um and it's like Oracle gives you more options, but I digress. Point is, you're realizing something within yourself. So the person, when you actually see them, you see them, you feel them, you get them, and they can also have that experience about you. Because if you don't delve to those depths, right, you don't exactly know who you're looking for. Because a kindred spirit is as much, it's kind of like the most perfect mirror or the deepest like connection you can have, right? But the only way you can have the deepest connection with someone else, right, that you can have is through having that connection with you. It doesn't go one way. It's not about finding that person. It's always about finding yourself to the core of you. So you can expand that outwards and have that external experience because you're already a resonance to that energy within you. Definitely the spiritualist pile. I can see yoga from this card, which usually I do not. Maybe you like scarves on your head or turbans or whatever. Maybe you're into Islamic religion. Maybe something about the East in general, like Asia. You could be Asian. I don't know. Um, could be very just like a sensual feminine energy that is watching mostly, male or female or them, doesn't matter, but a sensual feminine energy that's quite serene, deep, and understanding, and very much like into, health, nutrition, getting enough sunlight, breathing fresh air, having connection with animals and trees and all the rest. Like this is kind of like a very, I don't want to use that word because apparently it now sounds like how it sounded to me ages ago, but woke, awakened, spiritual, woo-woo, um, witchy, whatever, all of those things. So you are finding ultimate alignment currently right now to actually seek out that person or have them seek you out, depending on your contract between each other. And it is like illuminating your own self and light within you and going past the shadows that are holding you back. Because I feel like you guys, as most couples or slash relationships or people on this path, you have a lot of karmic reworking to do. You have a lot of healing to do, clearing to do. Um, you have a lot of darkness to admit within past lifetimes in between of y'all. So you don't have that standing in front of you. Worst case scenario for like maybe one or two of you, you're gonna have like a weird ass fling with a karmic before you meet this person. This isn't as common these days for twin flames anymore. It kinda is, and depends on, I guess, where you are in the twin flame journey. Switch that word out if it's triggering you. I'm using it because it's literally the easiest for this just, channeling. Instead of being like, hey, and trying to not hurt someone's feelings because you're conscious people. You can, sort your feelings out. Um, but yeah, I think you also understand that it's seeking this love out through a deeper understanding, deeper view, deeper feeling. And yeah, like it's better to do all of this work and need like have to go through it before you meet them than to meet them and then be like, well, this isn't what I fucking wanted. This isn't what you wanted. We're kind of stuck and out of luck here, and I want to get out of here because if you are as close as possible to someone else as you are that close with yourself, right? And there's drama, karma, pain, past lifetime energy coming in and other stuff. Like, it's not fun. It's actually worse. Um, because it's so intense and it's so like loopy doopy, right? And then you can't get out of Dodge because of the love feeling and the passion and the fire, and then you you can't avoid doing the things that you're doing that are maybe toxic, harmful, or uncomfortable, or just messy because, yet again, the freaking attraction, the, stuckness of it. And it's more like you're too close in to zoom out and sort your problems out, whereas otherwise you could just take your time before meeting and then have a better experience. I think like some of you or most of you already are aware of how this journey works and you know that you've been on it for a while. I think this reading is more like calming you down, saying like it's about to happen or it will happen when it needs to, if you are like 2, 3 years out. Most of you I don't feel that way. Yet again, you're the one that determines where you are on your journey and what's happening with it. The more you're focusing on getting to it, the more you're ignoring where you are, which is also the journey you need to take to get to the destination. So it's kind of like you are nearly there yet, which is wibbly wobbly time by spirit standards. But keep like having the spiritual experiences you need. Keep going through your awakenings. Don't rush it. Enjoy your life as much as you can, and go through that inner experience of like attaining more love, self-care, and illuminating your own masculine and your own feminine, and finding the relationship between those two aspects and how they're coming into center. How is that affecting your inner child? How is it affecting your conscious like id or ego, or how are you dealing with that from like day to day to day? Where are you journeying to? What is occurring? Why does it matter? Because like twin flame journeys are a bit, I'd say, artistic in some ways. Um, yeah, they have a point. Yeah, they have a reason to do all of those things, but like coming together for whatever creation, right? But the point is more so really how they feel, and like the mastery behind it is literally coming to love from the deeper understanding of what is the story behind it? What's the art behind it? What was the trauma, and what is the light? What is the personal attachment and feeling? Like, why does it matter? How do you both feel in relation to that? Because it's kind of like a mirroring, and it's kind of like the same, but it's also very unique and different, and your stories matter apart as much as they matter together when they're, when couples are one. And I feel like most of you really want a specific result to happen. So, not happening quite yet. Okay, so that's why we had this long spiel and conversation. Yet again, some people are avoiding going through the journey of letting go. It's just funny. It's just funny. Um, if you're coming from pile number one, hello, this is your pile. As well. If you feel like you need to go to pile number one, but this was the first pile to watch, or you're like, is there more message? Like, are there more messages for me from this pick a pile? That's where you might want to go. Not just because of the whole like, yeah, there's something there for you. Definitely, there's something there for you because this is more like further ahead in your own process. Like this is a deeper reading than just finding a counterpart. That was actually like going through the dating scheme and what's holding you back, whereas like this is a spiritual journey to a certain experience, and it's been a whole ride and a whole thing. So you might, okay, yeah, so something is holding you back from being your fullest self, and actually like letting that completely shine because you're afraid that one, you might attract the wrong type of people, two, you won't avoid the karmic, which we spoke about, and some of y'all don't even need the whole karmic experience. You just need to be your own shining star, right? You need to be looking at yourself going through your life or at your photos in the mirror and whatever you're doing and being like, my gosh, I'm actually elevating. I am smiling. I am actually enjoying myself. I'm actually doing what I always wanted to do. I'm actually being that personality and character and that lively without being fake about it. I'm actually embodying the grounded nature of my full emotional, mental, spiritual like potential, and I'm just vibing with it. And yeah, I want a partner, but at this point it's so good. I don't really mind or care, and that's most of the time when people find their counterpart is when they don't really seek them anymore or don't care about it as much. They're not attached to the journey or to it working out a certain way. They've just attained that level of stability and security an inner passion within themselves, right? They went through their own portal of their own heart and unconditional love to come out the other end, find whatever they were seeking, and then bam, on top of all of that, you get your like life's fulfillment through finding your love as well. But you are feeling like things aren't working out and you're trudging through the mud and earth is earth and it's very heavy and everything's fucking dense. Maybe you're feeling like things are going to shit in a basket and love isn't in the air and everyone's just looking out for traits or situationships or potential opportunities and having partnerships that are super conditional or even toxic or anyone that you ever would like or would want to have a relationship with is just not there. They're not good enough. They're missing something. You don't feel the right way about them. Maybe you keep getting people that are super like attracted to you, but you're not attracted to them, or you know that people are attracted to you, but they're not taking a chance on you because one, they won't get anywhere anyway, and two, they can see that you're seeking something specific and particular. But it is about like taking the current L, which is not a loss really, but it will feel that way because you're gonna need to go through a little bit of a dark night of the soul type of thingy. and delve into, I don't know, it could be anything because this is a spiritual pile. So it is a deeper personal root chakra thing. Because of this like right here, I've been staring at it the whole damn reading. So root chakra thing, root chakra, if you don't know, which I feel like most of you do, is base of the spine. It is also closely related a lot of the time to either us viewing ourselves as a particular persona, identity, character, or even a specific like divine feminine or divine masculine. So, depending on how gender works for you and whatever the hell else is occurring there, it's going to the deep core of your personality with like the childlike joy and connection behind it, but also from there on out, it builds into, play and sensuality and also admitting and expressing your own power and prowess, right? And just having the whole like stability behind your character. It also is spiritually a chakra that holds the whole purpose of whatever aspect of your higher self has incarnated. If you're assimilating your higher self with your lower self, it's literally bringing that down to, if it's the identity of it, right, to the root chakra and connecting it with your whole physical experience, your whole body, your ego, and everything else, and all the freaking details and nooks and crannies there, and having usually also aspects of the root chakra kind of go a little bit up there. So you're kind of like, walking both worlds consciously while being in alignment and unity with that. So there's something about your identity you're still uncomfortable about, either as a woman, man, them, they, whatever, that is very unique to you, that's particular, that there's no such thing anywhere else. If there is, it's still not the same because it's not your flavor or amalgamation or style or effect and experience. You can't replace it type of thing. So whatever that is, I feel like some of you already have a feeling or know, or understand that it's a vague thing you can't describe in a reading as easily, especially in a general reading with spiritual people like this. It's kind of like dependent on what collective you came from, who do you feel most connected to, right? What is your unique personal flavor and spice and theme and style and color? How do you come across? What can you not take away from yourself? Like, doesn't matter what happens, it's like inherent with you. You were born to be this way. You were born to be, in general, just to be, express the essence, right? Embody the soul and really have it like prominent here, present, conscious. Have that aspect of the collective unlocked, tapped in. So yeah, that's kind of like where you gotta go to. Ten of fucking Pentacles, I swear. To find your happy ever after, I think. Is it forever? Yeah, I guess actually I'm reading also for the collective that is meant to create something together. You have a contract to come together with this person and create happy home, maybe a fucking business, right? Babies, could be just having like a good family life experience with fur babies. Could be going off the grid together and creating like a whole new self-sustainable system idea of some sort where, people live in the damn woods and then you also help nature grow out of it as well. I feel like that's kind of specific to someone. Or just create like the next, not nuclear family, but you know how nuclear families were the definite, right? The specific like norm. It's like creating that, but I'm imagining like a couple in New York. New York, not complete busybodies, but business people with their head on a swivel, kind of going like, hey, doing this, doing that, like very eccentric and flamboyant and out there, but also like achieving a lot and having each other's backs and creating something else from it that is the new norm, the new paradigm for how people can live a happy, successful life, even in the busy bust world of like metropolitan cities and the rest, right? Like, and improve life through that. Justice reversed as well. It is a contract. Like it is ordained. It is spiritually ordained. It's just not happening currently right now. Also, we have 1111, which is yet again speaking to well, 1111 is a whole freaking thing. I think most of y'all know what that is. If not, you need to figure out your whole personal connection to that. It is a common ascension number, but it is unique for everyone. It's gateways. It's going through personal individuation towards, coming together with others in mastery of some sort, in ascension, in consciousness, in awakening. But this is hinting to a specific contract, and everything needs to be done in the right way. There has to be a progression of things, because if we look at everything, right, there is a numerology here. We have a four and a five. So some type of stability within you needs to be acquired before you can go to that change, to meet this person is one thing that's coming across. We have an eight, and the star is also an eight. So going away from some type of hardship of your personal identity and character, so you can just be shining and vibing. Yeah, no, I wanted to say like it could be something to do with like internet vibes, but I don't feel that way. It's a personal independence thing. It's a character identity thing. And then we have a 10 and 11. So yeah. But you gotta start somewhere if you wanna like go along with what is destined and fated for you, and you have a definite contract about that you were definitely born here to embody. You still need to go through the process of all of the steps. And I feel like some of you really don't like hearing that and you hate it, because I could feel behind my eyes like tension. I could feel an annoyance. I feel like it's at the process of what you have to do, not as much as it is at me saying this. Which, if it is at me, like, fair enough, you have your own thing, whatever. I do not take any of that on. I don't have to, but you you gotta leave something behind, and it's at the heart of things. And it's kind of funny. I've never noticed that in this card. I feel like some of you already saw what I mean. There's green hearts. They're actually leaves in the Ace of Wands. Um, but it's literally hearts. It's green hearts as well. I never noticed that. I mean, if it's reverse, it's green hearts. Otherwise, it's just leaves. But that's kind of cute. So love will be, love will shower you either way, I feel like. But if you want to succeed in what you incarnated here to do, you got to go through the steps. You can't avoid it. It is waiting for you. It's out there for you, but you're both like dancing this cosmic dance, and I feel like neither whoever your partner is, neither you are moving along with the divine plan that's ordained here, and no one's gonna make you do the move. Like no one's gonna force you to take your legs and work, on the stuff you gotta work on. If you need support, if you need time, if you need signs, they will come, but you gotta commit to what you already incarnated and agreed is necessary, which was openly told to you. If like, okay, if you want this balance, if you want this experience, you got to go through this. And you said, okay, fine. And then you got here and it's like, no, it's not fine. Give me my thing. Give me it now. And it's like, well, it will cause more problems and heartache and issues if you don't do it step by step. So, find that courage, go there, and I hope this helps in realizing and figuring out whatever the actual thing itself is, which is unique and personal to all of you, but root chakra, base identity, character, unique flavor of the soul. And I think your past lifetimes have this like thread of this personality aspect or character transforming through time. Sometimes it was more stuffed down and hidden and oppressed, and other times it was more brought out to the public or to just being seen and noticed and felt. But either way, it was also painful and complicated in either of those situations. So, whatever trauma you are experiencing has also come in, or have experienced this lifetime, has also come through or from those experiences. It's kind of like, it was an investment that now needs to be cashed out so you can actually reinvest what you have in a better, different way that's going to matter. Just, we're kind of going through the spiritual process of it. The third eye is very much important here, I think, like going through the Kosh, past lifetime stuff, talking to your guides, working on having better dreams, lucid dreams would also be helpful. Because eventually you're probably going to need to do some work with your twin flame in the dream realm as well. It's just not now. You're being kept away. Even if you're helping each other, it's not conscious. So, yeah. Yeah, you have spirit behind your back and they're ready to send in signs, but you gotta get out of your own way, honestly. So thank you so much for getting this reading. If it has helped you, I appreciate a like. Um, if anything, go down to Linktree and check out more of me. If you also, want to see gaming, streaming, personal readings on Twitch, I yeah, I'm gonna be doing that regularly as I am currently weekly again. Um, Yeah, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye bye. Hello, pile number three. Peace be with you. I don't know why that is coming across. One, two, 69 could be a pertinent number because I paused on 4609 and 69 has been a big, 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 big number for a certain part of the collective since like last year. To some it was starting up already at like mid-summer, others it was mid beginning late like autumn wherever it is, and everyone kind of had to come and go through that a whole entire time. So synchronicities 4646, which is also a 1010, could be pertinent, coming into endings and new beginnings, going through the motions, having a lot of fucking turmoil, but also keeping your cool for a very long ass time. Saturn returns, big planetary shifts in either Pluto or Venus or fourth house or whichever the romance house is. Check whichever the romance house is, maybe relationship houses in general. Fourth house is family though, so anything else? Heartland and Soul? No. Which deck are we using? I keep wanting to use the tarot deck, but I also like personally, I kind of want to just use the other decks, and it's kind of like, no, get the tarot. I don't know. It's kind of like getting the fucking answers and the point of it, but like, I don't know. Maybe I need to do something with that deck, because there's definitely like a very strong energy behind it. It could be just like, I don't know, love counsels today being very like on my butt, but yeah, you got through prayer and meditation. I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. It's a weird vibe because this pile feels like it's going places and it's going through a freaking portal. But sometimes going through a portal isn't that fun, right? It's not peaceful, it's not cool. It looks cool in some other like aspects of media, stories, or video games or otherwise, right? If you've actually personally gone through a portal either consciously, mentally, as you're transforming, maybe under an influence of some sort, or physically, like an actual, like, weird ass, trippy, spiritual, physical experience, um, that was mostly sober, maybe not. You can sense and feel that it is a discombobulated feeling, right? It's kind of like it can sometimes feel like all of your particles being ripped apart and then put back together, and maybe some of y'all have been experiencing that for a really long ass time. So which deck are we using, please? Can Okay, I just heard like n I wanted to use both of the decks, and all I heard is like no, just use the one deck. Like just get it over and done with. It's really weird. It's really weird. I do cleanse my decks. I have actually done more of that since I started coming back to doing readings and everything. So, yeah. But I don't know. It's like very particular today. And I'm gonna just ramble and chat. Okay. Yeah, so this pile is the pile going through big ascension, big life changes, not simple stuff. Um surreal experiences. Some of y'all are very much magical, some of y'all not so much. Some of y'all are like magicians, witches, and spiritualists and wizards and mages and occultists for a while now. Like you've been around the carousel for a while. If you've not, you have the abilities of a person that's quite seasoned when it comes to this stuff. But you're having to find balance, peace, power, and prosperity within that. It's like you don't feel like it's real. You feel like it's kind of like in the realms of your own imagination and make believe, and maybe it's just like, the brain is a powerful thing, but a lot of people don't know how to track or trace their brain, meaning they don't know how to track and trace their experiences when they are spiritual and they are not, and until you really get to the like end bit of certain experiences or being a professional, let's just say, or it being a everyday thing for you, right? Or being just so comfortable with it that it becomes that until you get to that point, it is kind of like you need to figure out how you trick yourself, how your brain conditions certain types of information, misremembers, remembers, and fills in certain gaps. But eventually, everything is spiritual and everything is a sign, and you need to commit to that. You need to live through that vicariously. And not avoid the meaning of even the most simplest of things that you instantly do see, like, a muggle, like, hey, that just happened and that's just normal because it just happens, or that wasn't even a coincidence, that wasn't even a synchronicity, but I felt energy behind it. I felt information. I felt magic. I felt maybe a being there or a tampering or something else, right? It wasn't an accident. Or I can differentiate when it is like my energy and when it is some type of being or when it's someone else's energy or whatever, right? Or that someone is going through make believe, and you could say that, i.e., I am going through make believe, but really I know that I'm not, and the person there is kind of imagining it. But like, who are you to judge? Who is anyone to judge that, right? Well, spirituality is kind of, to some, it's an earned experience. To others, you're just thrown into it. And once you earn the initiation of it, you just gotta accept it. Now, why is this in your freaking love reading? I have no fucking clue. We're gonna get into it. But you need to trust yourself. You need to get over your ego because you're kind of feeding into it more so than accepting like the reality behind your whole experience being infinite and your soul being infinite. Like you're giving into the idea of like life is just life, we're just an amalgamation of atoms and bacteria, and that is it. But it's kind of like we're also, supposedly a bunch of like crazy material from the stars coming into together, as well as other unknown aspects of either DNA or other um, little evolutionary steps that just probably traveled light years to even create us, right? So is it really that coincidental to a point of it being meaningless, or is it actually so coincidental there's a deeper meaning within all of it? Yeah, I feel like it's an important thing. So I like that today all of my readings are very spiritual. I was struggling with my intuition, kind of getting back from that though. No, and I'm fucking happy over it. and just tapping into some other ways of viewing things and feeling them. Sometimes you go through that. You can't keep using the same ways of seeing the world or looking or feeling, you know. Da, 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 da. Some of y'all want to change your fate, but you can't. And it's really funny. You know why? Because Seven of freaking Wands reverse, and I wanted to switch to the Seven of Pentacles reverse. And I didn't see the Seven of Wands. I only saw this, and I'm like, well, no, I feel like it has to go here. So some of y'all really want to switch out your fate, and it's kind of like, you cannot. You need to go forward. Stop holding on to reality the way it is and making it feel like it's only this way and it can't be that way because otherwise I'm insane and I'm fucking stupid and crazy and make believe is for kids or whatever, or like how can I be secure in something so intangible? It's like you've been initiated, woman, man, come on, get over it. Like spirit trusts you, you trust you from higher realms as well as everywhere around you. Your guides trust you. You've probably been getting nonstop signs, not being able to sleep, sleeping way too much, having weird conversations with that one friend that does astrology or tarot readings online or something. I don't know. But you need to trust yourself because if you would have been off, you would have known you would have been off. But I feel like this pile is people that want to be more grounded, realistic, tangible, and get results through the materialistic realm instead of just giving into like the reality that is here, the truth that is vying for your attention, because it would make more sense if you just gave in and just started living a whole new life. Because if this would have like this tangible shit would have worked out for you already, right? It would have already worked out. Are you really happy at how like life has been so far? Do you really want to commit further to the feelings, experiences, thoughts that you've had? Do you like the result you have currently of your life? Is it making any fucking sense? Or is this new beginning making more sense? Death on the goddamn bottom. Reversed, by the way, if you're listening instead of like watching. Stop fighting the ending. The old world is gone. We've all went through the ascension. The world is like leveling up. Some people are gonna need to catch up to this shit and they're gonna need to be carried over by people that have a natural inkling for this or a natural knack or are that person of their lineage, of their family that actually does see crazy shit, that believes it, that understands it, that has this deeper divine knowledge and will and whatever. Most people that say they get this, they don't. People that don't proclaim this, that just live normal, natural, great, amazing lives, right? And try and do their best are supposed to be these like oracles and seers and just, helpful beings in the community, but also do it through their authentic being and genuine life and personality. It's not a crazy thing of like it's not as crazy as it seems. You just think it's crazy because of where our society has been led and brainwashed and how everyone has fought any type of faith away with a stick and only believed through thousands of years that you need to have like a hair here, a statue, or you need to have validation from society and other people and some type of like external initiation for it to be real or true. We're not there anymore. There's too many people. Like the this is a channeling. As much as like sometimes my opinion is kind of correlating with the messages that come across, this isn't me preaching as much as I wouldn't want to say this because it's kind of my opinion, but at the same time it's very much being pushed of like religion has fallen in so many aspects of churches and faith and different aspects of belief, but faith of those types of branches, right? Believing in those energies, in those gods, or in faith and energy and magic and divine realms and whatever you see fit, and aliens or the occult or frickin' I don't know, paganism and other things, stars and stuff. That is carried on by people. it has strength and value because of the individuals that are like using it for their own benefit and their own life, not because of some church, not because of some political figure saying this is how it goes. And thank God, because we know how that goes if it becomes institutionalized, right? And then segregating like our common folk and masses through it. But this is kind of like, yo, like you are meant for this. Many people need to awaken to their own connection personally through to that, fun like fun phone within themselves and fun phone upstairs of like, hey, this is me. Can you tell me what the fuck is going on? Or like, hey guides, I want to do this cool thing. Can we manifest? Can we create a portal? Can I call up God to ask some questions? Can have some science, please? Can I help heal this person? Because I know Reiki or some other things. You are being called to gain more commitment, and it somehow involves your own love life as well as what's coming across. I love it when I channel weird ass shit, and then fucking cards are like, yes, this is a fun reading. This is like the last two were fun. This is even more fun. I'm happy I'm doing tarot today, man. The energy is fucking wild though. The channeling is kind of crazy. I don't know who's higher self or some other guides or whatever energy is behind me currently right now, but they're fucking passionate. They're like, "Come on, sister, brother, like wake the fuck up." We are waiting for you to kind of start talking to us, your guides, to your friends differently, to spirit differently, to higher forces, realms, and God differently. We are waiting. We need this like yesterday. You're a part of a big ascension process, and we need people that are as trustworthy, loving, caring, and attentive as you are. Like, we need you. You need us as much as we need you, as well. Like, 'cause you feel alone, you feel stuck, you feel like everything's looping all the time. You just wanted to start working out and having monetary value, and it's not. And it's because you keep not taking the ending. You keep stopping the ending. You keep stopping the transformation, especially of consciousness. It's like you're holding on to what is limiting you and keeping you thinking the same way because you think if you start thinking otherwise, you're crazy, insane, you're wrong, or you're a self-proclaimed, I don't know, prophet, self-proclaimed like magical being that isn't even real. And it's like we're all magical beings. It's just most people can't handle the truth of it, so it's better and easier to just be a human that is following something tangible, right? But for those that are meant to have higher consciousness experiences, it's kind of like we need to break out of it. That's where your true happiness understanding lies. That's where the world makes sense. That's where you then, because the world makes sense, you find the cheat codes and how to make your physical experience better, the experience of the ones surrounding you better, how to make those tough calls, how to be healthy, honestly. Because if you're at this stage of consciousness and internal soul, and you're fighting it this bad, it might be making you sick. Because I know it made me sick. I know it made countless others sick. You start having illnesses, chronic pains, like that people cannot explain. They don't have medication. Medication doesn't fucking work. Um, And if you start using it regularly and it works, it actually gets worse because you either get addicted or you start getting side effects, which usually you wouldn't. For some reason, you start. It just doesn't work. You can't conversate with people. They don't get you. There's like a weird background conversation that isn't getting through, or there's like direct manipulation, or people start freaking out when you're just being honest and setting boundaries, or you're just trying to continue the relationship with them in a healthy way, and they just like out of nowhere start barking like a crazy dog. It's like, why is this happening, you know? Why is my life falling apart? Why can't I keep it going? Why? And it's kind of like it can make you feel like a failure, and you're not a failure. It's just like life is leading you away to a different place, and you need to give into it and let it all die and freaking like crumble apart and you will find the people that are meant for you. Like these relationships are going away, so you get new relationships. You're not going to be forever like alone, you know? And it's okay to miss those people and to be sad about the things that aren't going right, or the people you can't take with you or you see are going to go a certain direction if you go this direction, right? But it's like, do you really want to stay connected to a sinking ship or a boulder that's literally bouldering itself down to the, deep black ocean? Because you're meant for other things and it's important for your well-being as well as theirs. Um, it's kind of like oil and water. You shouldn't mix them because they won't. They won't, and it's just gonna cause issues. It's just gonna cause issues. So yeah, you're at the Ten of Swords. It's ending. It's a complete ending, but like you're not taking what's coming. You don't want to. It's still coming. It just if it needs to, it will bulldoze you. Because I'm talking to some ordained people here. I'm talking to priestesses. I'm talking to witches. I'm talking to mages. I'm talking to those people that have really cool, weird conversations and open people's eyes or change their lives just through like that weird interaction. I'm talking to people that see, hear angels, aliens, I don't know, can divine the future, freaking has, you have lucid dreams, you feel other people's energy. Um, you see signs, synchronicities. You've been here before in past lifetimes. Like this is you. You don't need to act like the story that you were born into. That's just like that's a fake idea that we all try and hold on and create and make meaning out of and purpose out of when we are already meaning and purpose on our own. We don't need that, right? And we don't need it to also make us act inhumane. We will still be human. We will still be loving, caring, heartful people. We don't need to have ego trips about it, but we some of us can't fight like the infinity behind it all, right? Um, what's coming across is like if let's say everything beyond this world exists as well, right? There's different types of aliens. There's freaking demons and angels and god and goddesses and gods and deities and human souls and other souls and souls on souls, right? Everything's connected. There's different layers of consciousness. Like there's nature, inanimate objects, in between of all of them as well, right? And there's life force. There's chi, there's this, there's that, everything, right? And we come in here to have a specific, particular experience as we do with any and other incarnation, right? And we keep having it, it keeps happening, right? We can have that experience and value it for what it needs to be without having it destroy our souls or destroy us. We also don't need our souls to go cray cray overbearing while down here and be proclaiming like doomsday or end of times or whatever when it's literally like us shedding our skin and just shifting into a new understanding and way of living and being, right? It doesn't need to be that extreme every time. It's just like, oh, Viva Revolution times have ended, or the industrial time has just shifted into the new technological time, or we're trying to figure out how to have like the technomancy, new future with actual culture of people instead of whatever weird ideas humans might have while they're down here thinking they're just like a bacteria that's finite that needs to prove itself and find the key to immortality. And it's like, why do you want to do that? You're already immortal. That's why you're living, because you got tired of it. You came down here to just have fun, have your experience, figure some shit out, come back home and write a book about it or something. I don't know, but definitely not this, right? Not this to the crazy extent of just being trauma dumped on and trauma dumping on others and then just being lost in the sauce and trying to attach to people that like you don't need to. Like they're going one way, you're going another way. You know, you're dressed different, you're made out of different things, you were meant for different things. You were exchanging love, compassion for as long as you could and the meaningful ideas behind it, but like if you need to go somewhere else and they need to go somewhere else, it's better to just accept fate and like have the ending that you need to and to just be as transparent, loving, or just accept it for what it is as it is uncomfortable and painful, and some people just don't get it, right? Because there's other people waiting for you. Definitely. Like one thing I'm getting here is like there's other people waiting for you. Yay, I get to use another deck. Woot woot. Because I really wanted to. And you will get your relationship. I don't know. I think Spirit is just like, look, if you want a fucking love reading, we're gonna give you a fucking love reading. But you need to get over this. We can't give you a love reading because you're not ready to hear it. If this is the conversation we're having, right? It's like until you internalize this through your own lens and beliefs of what is true to you and not just listening from other people and seeking their guidance out or waiting if they're going to confirm it or validate it, right? We can't have you go on a magical love journey of finding the partner that is meant for you this lifetime. Because if you are this energy, that partner is meant to be as magical as you. You know, they're meant to come in a magical way. They're meant to maybe connect with you in a different type of energy, in a consciousness that is a vibe, you know, um for because I think you're seeking a specific particular thing and you need something in your life to just jog everything out of like position and put it in a new position, right? And the only way the person's going to come in is if there's not space taken up by same people, same places, same vibe. And how can you follow the magic of your own soul and the life that is being like given to you, or like the life you're meant to live if you're attached to these simplistic like ideas of this is what life is, this is what love is, this is how it's always going to go and be. I'm not fucking with it, right? Or I can't leave this because like I'm gonna be whatever social labeling you want to put here, or I'm gonna, go against like tradition of some sort of either family or society. Like you're attached, you're anchored, you're not gonna let it go, so magic can't come in. There's no space for it. You're keeping everything on lockdown. Like I'm gonna die if it changes, if it goes away, and that person can't come in. And maybe they're like supposed to come in like a weird, I wanted to say like one way that's more common, but the thing that really rolled in is like an alien in their own like spaceship, like a proper like Ferrari spaceship or Porsche or something, and being like, "Hey girl, jump in. We're gonna fucking fly to the stars." And then just, take off and go. But you're not gonna do that and get that because you're not gonna see it and feel it, or they're not gonna have like a any place to land next to you, or they won't catch your attention because you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not that, or I can't do that. Like, this. It's like, but you were born for this, let it go. Like, let it go, let it die. It's not meant for you for a reason. Go through the royal, realms, royal limbs. I don't know what a royal limb is, but anyway. Um, Go through the lower world or lower realms. There's something you need to realize about why you're attached to the things that you're attached. If you do work with energy, if you don't even, or you're not comfortable enough yet, before you go to sleep, just ask like, hey, guides or angels, or whoever you believe in, could you take me like to the lower world or realms that I need to so I can see the truth that is holding me back? Or primarily it's kind of looking at like your deep darkness and fear of like where you think you would be really wrong or really bad for acting a certain way. It's like lower world is your lower world. It's like the alter ego that's the dark you. And it's not really usually just the bad us that wants to use and abuse and kick and scream and shout and do bad things. It's usually the oppressed part of, and suppressed part of us that is afraid of being acknowledged. Like, I'm really miserable and I'm really sad about it and I'm really, really angry and I'm not letting myself feel those emotions because if I let myself feel them, I would call all of this shit out. I would judge it for what it is and how it's been affecting me for this entire time for multiple years or something, and I would just move on. I would say, no, enough. I don't care if I love it, if I care for it. It's not good for me, or this is how it makes me feel, or I'm not admitting my full potential through ignoring my true core feelings of being angry. Because anger is a feeling that doesn't need to be bad. We have really bad examples of how people deal with their anger because they push it back and then it explodes. But if you admit anger when it is happening in a healthy, rational way, you're gonna admit that it is upsetting enough that it's making you choose differently. It's making you stand up for what is right. It is motivating you to take action in the course that is uh, meant for you, you know? Anger is a very healthy emotion when done right, when admitted to oneself, and when actually, like, it's coming from love, not fear. Those are two of the main energies, love and fear. Where is anything stemming from? Is it love or is it fear? When anger is coming from love, you will not try and harm other people. You will just try and do what's right because you need to do something because something is not right, right? So what are you feeling for real? Stop ignoring it, stop running away from it, stop trying to be a certain way, and accept that you can go there and be that, and you will be perfectly right and all right. And you're meant to. Like, you're obviously meant to. It's meant to happen. It's a transformation. That's how transformations happen. You stop being perfect, acting a certain way, avoiding the inevitable, and you just go with it, and then you don't really do harm from it or judge it. You're just kind of like, well, this is the truth of it, you know? Like, for example, I needed a while to admit that I've been upset or angry about something, but I've kept it up for literally most of my damn life. Once I admitted it, I realized that I would have never actually done any harm from it. It was just like a necessary emotion to admit to take change and like accountability over my own life. And it's okay to actually admit that you're angry at people. You it's just like people don't like when you're angry at them, right? And if they see that they can put that aside or extinguish it or make you feel bad for it and then keep on going on and doing the fucking lame ass shit they do, right? That is actually unhealthy and toxic or maybe even really abusive and mean. They're gonna do that. They're gonna discredit the anger you feel and sense so you don't call them out and you don't change. You don't actually do something about it. You don't actually shift or act out in a way that is actually gonna serve you and change their circumstance. Most importantly, it's going to shift the dynamic between you, shift the whole freaking group dynamic, maybe even the workplace, whatever it is, right? But people hiding anger isn't always a good thing. We're just in a society where anger is not really embodied, right? So it's very scary for the common person that is very much trying to be just proper and kind. So it's happening. It's happening. There we go. 33 magic. You're resisting your own magic. You gotta go through it. Figure out what is eluding you. Sit. Breathe. Feel it out. Look it out. And just have it done. Have it go through it. That is so interesting. I feel like I've mentioned so many things about this card, but currently what I'm seeing is literally a body. Like right here. It looks like an angel. It looks like an angel. Wait. Yeah, you see it, right? These are the arms. That is the body. Kind of looks like a booty, but it's not a booty. And that looks like a tiny head. It does feel like an angel taking flight, but that is like in the murkiness of it all, it's in fog. It's an illusion. It needs to be disillusioned, right? It's funny, I wanted to put it reverse, but yeah, seek out the illumination, the higher understanding of whatever you need. Go inside of yourself, go within. You can't do this outside. You can't have someone tell you this. This is kind of like every spiritualist's internal journey that needs to happen for their own sake. It's kind of like the identity and the character and personality behind a person needs to be determined by their own life choices and what they go through, right? And how they form themselves. Parents can only do so much, society can only do so much. Eventually, people do what they do, and that comes through their own internalization, individualization, personification. And if you keep that process away, anyone and anything can just throw anything onto you, right? And you're just gonna keep taking on things from, or like, yeah, things from other people or beliefs from other sources that aren't you. And the world needs your source. The world needs your source. You are meant here for that. We need your opinion, your own personal vision, your own quips, your own anger, your own love, your own desires, your own angst, your own cutthroat ideas sometimes, right? We need your managerial skills of your own life in a way. I don't think managerial skills is a good like point for it, but anyway. But yeah, this is gonna lead you to love is the only thing I'm really getting. You gotta go through the darkness of it. Very much divinely orchestrated, very divinely led. This has to happen and it's gonna lead you to your happiness. If you don't do this process, you're not gonna use your own shadow, your own like darkness you're running away from, your own real feelings, your own pain, and taking accountability for it and saying, no, it is enough, or this is who I am, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop hiding, I'm gonna stop being perfect or portraying everything a certain way because it's not been working out anyway. Real life is not about this. Everyone's living a freaking lie or whatever it is to you. Whatever like it is to you, because I think that's just a parallel. It's a way a certain experience is usually described, but everyone can describe it a certain way that's personal. So whatever the personal description is for you, use it. But you need to cut the shit. You need to hold your own voice, your own emotion accountability, and go forward with it because I feel like you've been getting signs from like the universe, yourself, God, synchronicity after synchronicity, and nothing is working out until you do this. Nothing. And this message is going to keep on going. It's going to repeat, repeat, repeat until you do something, until you go to where you think you shouldn't, and you realize the truth of it all, and then do something about it. So you become magical. You become who you were always meant to be. Start doing it. Start connecting to the magic of you. And, then you'll start getting new messages because we can, like, anyone can only give you as much as you need to hear. You know what I mean? Like, we're all our own leaders and we're our own we're our own is how it's just coming across. So you'll get your partnerships after that. You're gonna find love. The person that's meant to find you is gonna go through their transformation to become or get ready to meet you, but you need to get to a better level or a different level because it's kind of like wherever you are, nothing suits you anyway, nothing's meant for you, and there's no love to be had here anymore, and it's gonna only become more apparent. And afterwards, you will actually find the answer you are seeking. And you'll be surprised that you actually find a partner, but you will. You freaking will. It will be such a cool, weird, magical experience. And you're gonna see all the other bad options and you will not care about them no more. You're gonna be like, me, I know me. I know who I am. I know what I deserve. This is not for me. That is, though. Let me get in that limo or that whatever. But yeah, really cool reading. Thank you so much. Sorry if it triggered you. Not sorry at the same time. This was awesome. Loved this reading. Yeah, see ya next time. If you wanna give me a like, I will appreciate that. Like to you from me if you don't, either way. And if you want to see more of me, go to the link tree down below because I do gaming and Twitch streams as well. So, see you. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. Hello, pile number 4. So, what I'm instantly getting with this pile is 1, you're transforming, 2, you're going through a portal, and 3, it's about to begin, or you're supposed to be starting something around this time. This month. This month. So, butterflies. I heard tarantulas. I don't freaking know why. Butterflies, tarantulas. Yeah. I have an insect phobia, so I'm literally even scared just of butterflies, even though they can be like the most cutest ones ever and my favorite color. I'll still be like, oh no. But those two might be significant. Tarantulas, especially, because I heard them so crisp and clear in my head, and it's just something. I mean, so yeah, it's about to begin. It's about to start. I surrender to a power greater than me. You don't need to be doing anything. You're in the perfect position. You're in the perfect place. Everything's fine. Everything as is as it should be. Don't do anything. Don't move anywhere. I mean, keep doing what you're doing, I guess. Keep being you. Keep being awesome. If you're having difficulties, look after yourself, Look after your feelings. Star, it's about to begin. I'm telling you. I am telling you, you have conquered your fears. Love! Oh my God. Yay! The energy here is so great. Those cards just made it better. Plus, these are like, gates. They're like golden gates. Oh, golden stage, golden freaking serpent. Like, yay! I'm getting so excited. Oh my God, and emotional. I can't even. You've been through some shit and it's all for something. It's not for nothing. It's coming too. It's coming through. It's becoming real. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna try and chill. Probably not, because this is just good vibes, and I did do this reading to have fun. But I'm like getting emotional. My eyes. I could cry, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, you don't need to be doing anything. You just need to be having fun, loving yourself. Like, keep investing towards yourself because this group, to get to this point, you've been through so much. You've been going through this for a while. Yeah, things are alright, but I feel like this is like the light and the dark of the situation, or in a way you could. It's yin and yang, but it's not yin and yang. I don't think that's the case here. I think it's more of like feminine, masculine within you has been balanced, but you also you went through the light of things getting better currently, like maybe getting out of tough situations, maybe leaving some people behind, leaving some places behind, getting rid of some shit, getting rid of some stuff, getting rid of baggage of any sort, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. You had to get up on this damn serpent and believe and trust in yourself. Literally just thought of Goku, how he had to die, right? To actually go through the dragon, and it was a really long journey before he got anywhere. It was a long ass journey. And he's a strong motherfucker, but it was heavy, it was hard. And if you fall down, you're kind of like screwed and fucked. And I think he fell down too, and he still like came back. I can't remember because it was like a while, but or I can't remember like the story continuity, but I know that it was a humongous journey for him, and he did need to die um, to come back to do anything, to get anywhere, right? So it's kind of like you needed to really trust your desires, your heart. You needed to trust your own self. I feel like something just poked me in my crown, and I'm not happy about that, but we're gonna continue on. You literally had to just be behind your own back, and like show up even when you didn't want to. You needed to come out of your cave. You needed to get back up on your feet. You needed to initiate this when you were down, you lost everything. You were very much sad and upset. You got scarred, you know. The only thing you had was you behind you, basically, is how it's coming across. And you needed to get on your own path, your own life idea stage. You had to get behind your own calling. You had to get behind your own like movement, forward and where life was leading you, and you feels like you didn't really have anyone with you throughout this whole entire process. You don't have anyone with you currently, possibly. Maybe you just met someone and this is clarification of the journey and this is just kind of helping you process some things before you get committed. But I feel like this is the reading you get before it happens to keep you on your journey, to keep you motivated, inspired, enlightened, and just like it's kind of like a good job. You did so well. Everyone's so proud of you. You are so far ahead. You're so close, just like stay the course. Stay the course. Keep shining. Keep empowering yourself. Keep supporting yourself. Keep looking after yourself. Being cozy, maybe resting and regenerating, or having like continual efforts towards the things that bring you joy or matter to you, or your passions, your projects. Keep connecting to the things that are important to you. Sorry, I keep having someone wanting to poke my damn crown and I want to kick them out, but I'm like, who the hell is this? I think that this is counterpart energy. So I think we might get a message from your counterpart, the one that you're supposed to be meeting. So that's exciting, isn't it? Well, we'll get to you, bro, girl, them, it. It's just we gotta read about how amazing this person, this group is, and like the stuff you went through. If some of y'all are crying, cry it out. You've been through hell and back, literally. Like, look at these cards. This is so aligned. Like the black and the daylight inside outside, like everything is. I never saw these cards being like this. Pretty sure in this deck there is as much counterpart as you could get, potentially. I could be wrong. I'm not the creator and I don't talk to the creator, although I could message him and ask. I just don't really want to. If he ever watches my videos, let us know, Zach. But yeah, you're expressing yourself, but in a grounded state. You're not trying to prove yourself. You're not trying to gain anything or do anything for any particular reason. You're connected to where you've been and what you've done. You've accepted the difficulty, the challenges, and the shadow you went through, the darkest of dark nights of the soul. And you're smiling because of it, because like it made you who you are, and it gave you the strength and the confidence to go forward. It's really come through for you, even though it kind of doesn't completely look that way or seem that way. But the gears are turning. The gears are turning. You're about ready to do the last end bit of stuff that you need to. Because there's a few other things, and I think you're aware because I feel like you're being led by something as well. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be studying or keeping a plan or anything, um, or like being very serious about it. It is about having fun and kind of just being at your peace with it and then showing up for yourself currently. That's all you gotta do. You've done enough type of thing to not need to be strict or particular or specific or, you know, keep doing the breakthroughs or whatever. It's like everything's done. It's just about time to have the climax of all of it crumble completely, like completely shift out, completely end, completely transition, you know. It's like the calm before the storm that washes it all away, but the nice storm, not the bad storm. It's like how, when you're about to actually transition, go to a destination or a vacation or um, change jobs or whatever. It's kind of like you have that period of where it is just before everything happens, and usually just before everything happens, it's, steady or still, or you're kind of just like doing your best to like support yourself through that period of whatever you need to do, however it looks for you, right? Um, but when it starts happening, you're leaving this place, you're packing stuff up, you're freaking saying your goodbyes to people. Maybe you're arguing with some people. Maybe you're like letting it be done and ended by, having certain things said or divulged, writing up contracts, tearing contracts up, actually moving into that new place, getting settled in. Like there's gonna be a lot of movement type of stuff, right? If you're shifting a lot or you're like really meeting that person that is a counterpart, because this looks like counterpart stuff, and like your whole life is gonna change. It's gonna be day and night. Reassess the seriousness, which is kind of the process we just were speaking about. Even though it might be uncomfortable, you are doing it the best you can, and it is gonna be coming into like a fresh new beginning. You're gonna be like a babe. And currently, right now, it kind of feels that way. It feels like everything's a bit empty, possibly for you. Like there's nothing to really invest into or to make sense of or to have purpose behind. Like nothing even matters anymore. It's a good thing and an uncomfortable truth, right? Because if it was mattering, then it'd be sad to leave it. But now you're kind of ready. You're ready to go. It's just kind of like when is it gonna happen? And it is gonna happen. It's just kind of like keep going, keep being where you are and letting yourself be in the youth of enjoying the, liminal space, the emptiness, the transitionary vibes. Because it's about to happen, and you're gonna just like land and start running. Not in like a very stressful way, but more like excitement, ba-da-da-da, so much to do, da-da-da-da. It's gonna be happy. It's gonna be happy. Okay, so we're gonna shuffle some tarot for I don't know what reason. After that, we're going to go to the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck because that deck will be actually messages from this future partner that you're about to meet. That you're about to meet. I'm so excited. There's a good energy, man. Okay, so so you already know a lot of this stuff. You've broken out of the like system and the monotony of things. If it's kind of like simulation theory and matrices, you broke out of the simulation. You've cleared the slate. You've did completely and annihilated the um manifestation programs or the processes that like your reality inside and outside was working behind. Your mind is clear, your heart is clearing. I feel like some things we're preparing for the next stage, so still kind of like possibly letting go of something, right? To have like the energy and the confidence to go through with this, because a transition is still a transition every way through, and the beginning of it is one type of vibe, the ending is another type of vibe, but it is always still like a letting go process until you start building and investing and creating and doing. And I think you guys have been so at this. It's been a long process. You've been preparing that it's very obvious to you what you've been investing into, what you're doing, and how it's going. This is literally just a confirmation to most of you. You've probably gotten tired of the signs and the readings, and you just want it done, but you also are like keep the cool, be patient. Yeah, and you've let go of the worry and anxiety and figuring it out like how's it gonna look? What's it gonna be like? What it's gonna do? Ta. Like you've just been like just cruise through it. It's happening. It's gonna happen. I might as well just like not be counting the damn minutes because it's gonna just prolong the waiting time anyway instead of, sitting back and kind of just looking around and maybe doing a bit of scrolling, having that walk, like counting fucking stars, even anything, anything. Just don't sit, wait, and be constipated by it. Um, it's like trying to fall asleep or going like, somewhere and waiting for the bus or the airplane or whatever, right? You could just sit there if you want to. You can spend a lot of time that way and like have like, it pass by quick, but you're still not focusing on counting the minutes. Same as like when you're in a lesson or school or something or a lecture, right? Or watching a goddamn show. Like you're not gonna be counting the time, and if you are, it's very slow and trudging and uncomfortable and unpleasant. It's just not an experience you want to have. Whereas otherwise, you can fill it up and it'll happen either way, right? It's just gonna be easier and better that way. So, okay, so this is hinting at the thing that still needs to happen. So, probably talking to some people you haven't gotten along with for this process or this time. People that have went behind your back to get their way over you and to look more affluent and better at the cost of your own well-being in some way or sort. Could be mostly friends, could be also partners, could be family. Um, Whoever it is, it was literally like people that were kind of having fun at your expense. And they were not investing into you. They were not being supportive. They were not showing you the care and love that you deserved or needed or wanted. And literally, they were kind of like a sad part and a sad place of your life to be in and or around, and it kind of feels like it took a lot to get rid of it. Because Three of Cups to me is always also like, the highlight of friendship in some ways. It's not the only card to signify good, happy relationships and other things, and its pinnacle, but upright, it is like the community you strive for to have real good times with and fun, and you can celebrate freely with and trust that harvest and process with, right? And it's kind of like the King of Wands reversed and the Three of Cups reversed. These people were having fun at your expense, and they were just not feeding you what your soul needed, um, what your heart needed, what really mattered to you and made you happy. So I'm sorry for that, but you made the most out of it and kind of like screw them. Fuck it. Fuck that. You, you're good. You're goddamn good, and you're sexy and you know it. It's just kind of still unpleasant, but. Okay, messages from the counterpart you're about to meet. Da, 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 da. I don't think I've ever been this animated in a reading, unless it was a personal one on Twitch and it was this good, which I've had some like this. Okay, I have not done what I've needed to do yet. I am coming to completion. I'm like gonna speak as if they're saying things, so if that's gonna be confusing, remember. I think it's gonna be a different tone too, because I feel like I'm a little bit channeling like that collective that is supposed to come in to do the meeting. My God, my throat. It's kind of crap. It hurts. It hurts. Yeah, they haven't said what they needed to say. They haven't let bygones be bygones. They haven't expressed their own truth to themselves. They haven't connected to like the higher thing that's happening fully and like really said it to themselves or expressed it or put it down on paper or just like embodied it somehow that it was obvious to them and it was like a signed thing. Like everything's still up here in their head and up there in the dream realm. You probably met them quite a few times there. Yeah, they just haven't went through the completion of this process for them. It's hurting, it's painful, it's uncomfortable. I heard, please pray for me. Because they know what they need to do. It's just very much painful, and they're doing their best. They do want to admit that they're doing their best, and they know that it like the ball's in their court. You're sitting pretty by the thought and idea of it. They gotta like get the gears going, but you can't rush this process either, right? The best you can do is commit. The best thing you can do is commit. But their heart is in the right place and they're focused on it. They are focused on it. So, yeah, they through shadow work or looking at things that don't feel right or don't feel nice or they don't like and they don't care for or in general that just don't add up, right? They've realized and understood what they need to do and where they're going and they've just made that decision. It doesn't matter how much it looks like one thing or another thing or how insecure they are or uncomfortable or scared or how much they're trying to not really admit some things because it's to some of them it's a bit out there, to others it's just very sensitive and upsetting and hard. There's a lot happening. Um, but they're finding wisdom in it and they're also sending you messages. They're trying to send you as many messages as they can to continue, supporting you or letting you know or kind of like go through with this, right? It's kind of like helping them besides helping you. There's also like the staff, which the staff is a separate card in this deck, and the staff is t taking your power, right? It's calling in your authority and doing what is your at your disposal, what is your ability, and really like wielding it, really holding it. It's putting things into action. They're also using feminine intelligence or energy through this process as much as they can. There's also a lot of protection from feminine energy around this person. I think they also are trying to get away from toxic feminine energy. There's just a lot of murky stuff happening on that front. Like I almost see this person like having a battle of feminine energy around them, basically. And the whole point of like them sending messages is really coming across again. Pay attention if you've been disregarding the messages you've been getting, or maybe you're not a person that's been getting a lot of love readings, but like sometimes you get a reading from this person and you've not even met them or you don't know who they are even, right? Um, you haven't seen them for a while. It's this like it's confusing, it's a bit ethereal or a bit loosey-goosey or something, or very much like unclear in the 3D because you don't keep in contact or you're in different continents or something, right? It's like they're trying to keep the faith going for you and to convince you that this isn't up in the air as much as it seems that way, but also like allowing you to have space and using your intuition, focusing on the process that you're going through because it's important for you to maintain your energy and not get involved in their shit and as much as they'd like it to be otherwise, it's not a good idea if they get involved, if you get involved in their stuff. They can get involved with your stuff a little bit though, but not as much as well either, as not as much as they would like to. They need to use their own prowess, ability, space, energy, power for themselves to get through this. They need to take the help that they can to get through this. They need to tread lightly, be kind of sneaky, kind of well calculated, step in the right way at the right time, and really trust their own process and the wisdom that is being bestowed on them because they're going through a deep purging, a shadow period coming together. And also we have a 9 and a 9. I didn't mention that. Some of you already saw it, but we have a 9 and a 9. So total endings, complete endings, absolute endings. Having to call in those endings, act on them, make it real, make it fucking rain. thunder and trust the process. Because they haven't really seen the reward. I don't know how they're having like confidence because of you. If you're in contact or connection of any sort, you're really motivating them. They're like they feel really supported just because you exist type of thing. And if it's not like that, there's this inexplicable feeling of some sort, or maybe there's dreams, there's something that really pulls them to you and it's just helping them stay sane. So that's very much important. The opportunities they have to connect with you in the astral is like such a fucking relief. It's like the best time in their life currently. I wanna fucking cry. Oh my God. Anyway, okay. Oh, I would hug this person and say like, it's okay, you'll get through it. And they've really connected to their higher self through this process. They've really connected to a lot of stuff in general, like spirit and higher realms. Like they've really they've let go of the systems of society and the ideas of what really matters and like pushes you along the ladder in society or career or what gives you hope and strength and power and happiness, right? Like they've went against it and they've just said like screw it. I'm gonna seek out this divine energy that I seek and that I want and that I'm kind of like in despair over for, and I'm gonna become my own person through it and I'm gonna trust what I'm getting because because they can see the difference in following life, people, and ego and these external ideas, and then trusting their gut and their heart and their soul, and then finding the definition behind it. You know, like when you start becoming spiritual, it's kind of like how do you tell the difference between all of your different aspects, and how do you start trusting them for what they provide? Because you can't just go by your head or your heart all the time, or this or that, or say it's all magic and ignore the details in it because we're going through so many things currently. Spiritual evolution, you know, ascension, holding ourselves back, giving into like the process, spiritual warfare, certain energies sending mixed signals, or trying to hide the truth. Like all of these things, you know, how do you know what is for you and against you? How do you know something is like really there for you or manipulating you? And it's like this person has really tapped in through this process. It's really helped them come out on top. And that's the only thing that's really kind of leading them and helping them be who they need to be currently is the truth that now that I've given in, I can see more clearly and I can feel more grounded and stable. I feel like myself. I feel like I have a say, I have power, I can do this, I can move forward. I feel like I know where's like God guides, universe talking to me, and when it's my fears or inhibitions or just like societal programming or false ideas and it's helping them let it go and become like wizened basically even though they're in the dark. Everything's dark. It's just dark. It's just dark on the darkness. I wanted to pull some more, but I'm hearing like, please shuffle some more for me. So it's like, okay. I don't think they want to talk about the other cars that would have come up with that. So it's okay. We good on that. If they want to say a particular message, then let them, I guess, right? Although the other cars I feel like would have been truth of some other sort, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, they're very much following and trusting the process. Also like 9911. And a six now too, so and a seven. Okay, so there's a lot of progress. There's definite progress towards things that matter and are higher values and higher realm things. And yeah. How do you want to go here? I guess let's have this one here and have this one here. It's kind of funny because it's kind of like Vision Quest and the Holy Mountain reversed is separated by the Mountain of Cards. Yeah, so they're accepting their transformation, but they're more so seeing your transformation is what I'm getting. And it's like lining up with their visions and their desires and their whims and their quest for like progress and evolution and going through things. And it's just being reaffirmed that they haven't conquered their end of the bargain or the journey that they gotta go through, or they just haven't climbed the mountain they gotta get to find a bit of peace, respite, and like affirmation of their own journey that they've been through to breathe in that fresh like breath of air and be like, okay, I can finally start my goddamn descent. Things can kind of come into play. I can kind of like, have these worlds collide and just we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. They're not there yet, but they're getting there and they're doing their best. Yeah, you're really inspiring them somehow. You're really inspiring them somehow. Da, da, da. Yeah, they don't have the luxury of like being as chill or happy as you. Not like defining things as being like one way or the other or comparing them per se, because I think they understand that like if their journey is like this, yours wasn't fucking peaches either. But as they're seeking the light, they know that they can't be like childish or naive about it. They can't relax. They gotta keep focused. They gotta keep going. They gotta be on top of things. Um, we got a 7 again, which is interesting. So, very much reflecting and mirroring experiences on some level in some ways. I have a lot of 7 energy in general as well. Sevens are sometimes not a fun number because it's like winning, but sometimes winning is through losing or through things being like exchanged or dismembered in a way is how it's coming across. The dismembered part is kind of coming from like the counterpart energy, but the exchange is kind of coming through, the 777 lucky like number, whatever, when you're gambling. But it's not just that. In general, like like winning a lot of times when you want to get what you want to get and you get it, right? It's through letting go what doesn't serve you and what isn't there for you. It's letting go of what's taking up space that isn't the thing you want, so you can get the thing you do want. You can't have it all, and you wouldn't want to anyway. Because the thing you don't want would hold back the thing you do want. But that's all I'm getting from them. Like they're using the sword of truth. I don't know who that is for or why that matters. Sword of truth to cut through things and to really see the reality behind things. This card has a lot of green. I've never seen that before. It was always only freaking blue. You can only barely see it here that it's kind of like greenish. So cutting through to the core of things, essence of things, truth of things, also isn't like green electricity like really freaking potent. Like it's more significant and powerful, right? Whereas like blue and white isn't as much. I could be wrong on that. I do not know. That just kind of is coming through. I could be wrong. But I think green is like a very static, like energy or high voltage or high power level of freaking lightning or electricity or energy. Yeah, they're using their best to cut through to the core of things and stay on course. They're gonna need your help after they come in. I think you've already been aware of this. Some of you don't want that to be the case, but others of you have been just accepting the reality behind it that like after this is done, it's gonna be like a little, it's not gonna be completely one-sided, but it's gonna be like they're gonna need to have some help to come back to center and peace of mind to actually like let go of what they went through and to be okay about it. Are gonna need to have some help to relax. You might need to, kind of keep your boundaries and not rush into this relationship. Take it slow, even though it might be hard because this is intense. This is a big breakthrough. This is like counterpart energy coming together, right? So it's kind of like they're gonna need some R and some leeway, and they're not gonna neglect it or use it or misuse it. And it's okay that you're gonna need to like pace it for both of you, or you're gonna need to like be a bit more caring and supportive and emotional and nice and whatever and other things. And it's kind of like they feel like they're gonna be more of the practical resolution for your life in terms of like, oh, this is the movement now because, this new stage is with this person, or they have the maybe resources or the options I can take, right? But you have the emotional know-how and you can have like that awareness of like how to treat them or how to treat the relationship or how to pace it or how to go around things and talk to certain sensitive topics so they can come back out of this and actually be their best self even more so. I'm not saying they're not going to be their best self. It's just like when a person goes through a lot of shit, right? They need time to come back to themselves and to let go of their guard and to become super honest or to go through some things. We only really have the capacity to deal with what we can when the time is right. And sometimes you need time to come back to that place of home, and you can't be as free or as committed in the same way that you'd expect. Like, I feel like this person is going to be very much committed to the journey and the relationship and everything else here. It's not going to be like a fully present, healed person right away. They're still going to have like quips or residual like trauma energy of some sort, or they're still going to have things that are going to be ruminating in their mind. They're going to be done with everything that they'll leave behind. They will definitely be done and they will be committed to the journey with you, but it's like you're going to need to take the high road for everyone involved and to be like, okay, you're not ready here yet. If we do that, it's going to reopen that cycle or it's going to reopen that wound or it's going to throw me out of fucking balance and I just can't do that yet, you know? Or we need to take time or be in our separate spaces, right? Um, or have a certain way we come together. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be for everyone uniquely in this general pile, but it is gonna be a case of like you're gonna need to be the emotionally wise one to know how to handle this in the right way, and they're gonna just show up and be who and what they can and need to be to the fullest of their ability while still right like reeling from the experiences they're going through currently, or they will come out of right when they meet you and go through that and they'll still just be like, ugh. So cool reading, intense reading, beautiful reading, but still really awesome. I hope the person, has it as easy as possible and gets through this okay. I believe they will. I don't think that, this is very solid. Like this isn't really freaking changing. It's just like there needs to be time, respect and compassion and care. And I think, it's just patience, 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 faith and hope and happiness for the truth to come. And I don't know, as much appreciation as there can be had for the current present moment as well, right? So thank you for getting this reading. I hope this helps. Let me know with a like. And if you want to see more of me, you can go down to the link tree where I have my Twitch and gaming YouTube. Yeah, have a good one. I appreciate you, and see you next time. Peace. Hello, pile number four. No, four, not four, five. Five. Maybe you're going towards four, maybe you're coming from four. I don't know. Either way, five is the actual number here. When I lean towards love, I am led. You're manifesting more love in general. More love within your relationship, though, is how it's coming across. More love within your marriage, more love within your union, more love within what you are going through or where you're at. Or, yeah, I want to say this is mostly for people in couples. I don't think this is necessarily for singles. If you are single, I don't know, this might be connecting to either another reading for you or there's something here for you, but mostly this should be for people that should be whatever, like that doesn't really matter in the world now, does it? But this is for people that are in relationships. You might want to have more sexy times and you haven't been having sexy times for a bit now. There might have been a lot of like hidden emotions that have been spoken out on, and it's very unnerving because it's kind of like, where the fuck does that leave us? What do I do with this information? Where do I go? What do I say? And you don't want to give up on the relationship. Like for some of you, I've instantly felt like and wanted to continue and say like they don't want to give up on the relationship, but I am not claiming anything just yet because this is a general reading. What? Yeah, we're using this deck right away. But yeah, the thing that's instantly coming through, and I mean, every time I see these grids, to me, that's like manifestation. That's the matrix. That's um, the tiniest particle of the texture of life. And if you don't know what that is, I did a simulation theory podcast episode where there's also links on literal physicists like trying to figure out the tiniest particle of the simulation of life. And it kind of looks like this. So to me, it all connects. It's one thing. But yeah, I feel like some of you want like me to show you the card up close too. And I feel like some of you just said like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So there we go. That kind of looks like a bunny with the like behind the moon, but it also looks like a side heart that's not finished. It also looks like things are coming through, but also bleeding out, right? It's a messy card. I've never noticed how messy of a fucking card it is. And you could argue a lot of cards from that deck are messy. This is the messiest, though, for a card to speak of love. Like, I never notice how it speaks to the case of it's out of the alignment of love, and it's kind of like coming into more of alignment of love. So that's just me. That's just me talking to it like that. But yeah, you're the one that manifests your own reality. You're the one that co-creates it with this other person, and this other person has co-created it too, and they have as much of an impact and say as much as you do. It wasn't just your fault. It wasn't just one-sided, even if it was their fault. Um, it takes two to tango, and doesn't matter who uses ignorance and who just tries and goes through the ignorance of bliss, right? And who maybe like tries and controls or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. You're both in it. You're both in it. You're the same thing. You're the unity of the relationship. Even, as individuals, it's important to admit that and not then to separate yourself into being like the oppressor and the victim, unless it is that way. But we're not talking about that. This is a love reading. This is not one of those. Um, yeah, so some things are breaking apart, so other things can come back together. I mean, rest coming in quick is something is coming through. I realized the only reason and way I shuffle this way, ripple-wise, is to shift the deck around in what is upright and upside down, so it doesn't keep repeating the cards. I don't shuffle it to shuffle it that way. I shuffle it to actually like, I don't know, replace what is upside, what is not. Some people would say like it doesn't matter depending on how you like put it, right? And it's kind of like, well, yeah, it's gonna go up and down, but the point is like, yeah, so we have variety and mixing up the reversals and uprights, not just having the same thing. And I don't like rippling my cards. Um, yeah. That Five of Pentacles is such a main card in all of these readings, man. Ta-da-ta-ta-ta-da. Oh shit. You guys had a bad argument then, yeah. Or like, yeah, something fell out of good times. Both of you said things you didn't mean. You were just like in the heat of it, is what's coming across. And you Three of Swords and Three of Wands at the bottom. So you both are feeling the pain and you're not really looking to get out of the relationship. You do want to keep investing into this and to make it right. You don't want to be stuck in the pain of it all. And you know that this is an ending to come through out of the like unsaid shit that you've had and into a better situation. Like neither of you are making decisions to go away from each other is what this is coming across as. But the pain is there and both of you are looking at the pain, but both of you are upset about what was said and what happened. I love that this deck has had so many mirroring cards of like 5 5 3 3 like this whole entire reading. If it's not about like people and relationships and counterparts, eh? Like if I needed more of a sign, I know everyone's decks and tarot works different, but to me there's been so much synchronicities. Synchronicities. No, this feels like it needs to go here. Okay, how the fuck are we doing this? Yeah, you can see them. That's good enough. I know it's not like the most practical or ideal. I'm not doing these layouts so you see everything perfectly. I do it so I can read the energy and then you can see how what cards are coming out. So both of you know that you're left upset about things that were said, and yeah, you said things that you didn't mean. It was just like the heat of the moment, and that you both you both feel like you're left out in the cold. You both feel the house is cold or the texts aren't like clicking anymore. It's like you can't ignore the point of what happened. And you know that somewhere deep in energy or the soul or consciousness, you both know that this has occurred because you didn't take what you needed to in terms of like an investment from both of your sides. You didn't take a victory. You didn't take like the evolutionary next step in your relationship. You didn't go out on a limb and like invest in something passionate, something more of the heart, maybe a little bit sensual or weird or naughty or non-conventional. Like it wouldn't have been what usually stable relationships do. I don't know. I don't freaking know. But it would have been something that would have been love for you. Like it would have been love for you. It's just you didn't talk about it. It was in the air. It was in the energy. Both of you had your own weird thoughts about something. You didn't talk about it, neither of you, because it would have sounded weird. It would have sounded rude or mean or like I don't love you. And it's like no, both of you love each other very much. Just like both of you needed to agree to go there to go through that transformation into this new beginning of your relationship. It's kind of like people grow together or they grow apart, but when you're growing together, it doesn't sound or it's not as easy as it was most people would like to say it is, right? It is feeling and seeing that an argument is upcoming and then asking why it's happening or having the tough, hard conversation instead of yelling at each other, getting ignorant and dissatisfied out of nowhere, and then having these quips come up about or ignoring it, and then out of nowhere your partner is annoying you. And it's like you had this unsaid thing you could have done, and neither of you did that. Neither of you accepted the point that something needed to change within your relationship, and you just went along with things in the conventional sense and how happy relationships look and how society does it or says it's a good thing to do, a good idea to do. Now you don't know where to go from here. Now you don't know where to go from here. You don't know what to do. You're very scared of talking about it. You're scared of being honest because it's like, well, now this thing is definitely gonna sound even worse because we just had a big ass fight. Where do we go through this from this? Like, I don't want to lose you. I don't want to go there. Da, da, da. Just breathe. Okay, so for further information, I'm still gonna shuffle tarot, but I feel like we're gonna have other decks speak out about this as well. Yeah, but both of you just like acted out of like untapped, like sensual, sexual, playful energy, like things you didn't look at because they would have been like, you know, the dark. They would have been your. It's funny how it's going across. Your dirty fucking secrets. It's like you're in a relationship with a person that has the same dirty fucking secrets and wants the same thing. You would have figured it out. It's just like you needed to go there. How do you know how a person is going to react to something when you don't even speak to them about it? And one of you definitely had the balls to speak to it. It's just you were like assuming what the other person would say or how they would react. And maybe they would, be a bit triggered at first, but then after some time they'd realize their own side to it, like, cause it was literally in energy. Both of you got to that point. You both felt the vibe. You both had the thought. You both like it was there. You just didn't take the chance or opportunity to go there, and you'd be super committed. Like, is what's coming across. Like, it doesn't sound or seem that way, right? But it would have actually helped your commitment. Yeah, you just needed to like have the fucking balls to talk about it. You just had to have the courage to speak up about something so complicated and nuanced because you would have needed to be upfront as who you are. You would have needed to come out as how you really feel, who you really are, the type of person you really are, and how far this commitment would go with the truth and reality that this is like the person, this is the truth of it, and this is what leads you to like a happy, satisfied relationship, like a fulfilled one where you really do feel like you are partners together, you are your own family, whatever that unconventional family vibe is of the partnership of being like that close that you can trust each other with deep, dark, intimate secrets and your own listy desires. I like how it came out and then it just was like, nope, like, boop, boop. Like we're not going there. I didn't touch it. I wanted to throw it down, but it kind of like bounced over. Ah, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, just end the cycle. Like most couples don't get anywhere by acting like they're happy in the ways that they are not. Everyone is different. That's why there's so many of us, and that's why you can find your partner and whatever really satisfies you and suits you. There's no good or bad here as long as you're honest with each other and you really have your heart in it. Like you don't need to be embarrassed. or stay stuck to a paradigm and idea of how relationships work that doesn't do anything for anyone. Why do you think most people don't get married these days? I mean, now maybe it's shifting. I haven't kept up with the trend, but we've had like a normal, occurrence of like accept that divorce might be a part of your journey, or divorce became normalized, or people not marrying anymore was normalized, not creating families, right? Um, Sex is very much coming across here. So, like different sexual orientations or even like experiences and kinks, right, were understood to be a big part of a healthy relationship. The point that people do not explore that or explain their needs to each other or discuss that was a huge reason to why people were lacking in marriages and partnerships, because it's kind of like we needed to go there and to have that conversation. And most of the time, the only way they get there is going through hearing someone else's experience and then trying it and having that conversation before things start falling apart, or people start blaming each other and getting pissed off and projecting, or going through to a couples therapist that knows their shit enough to be like, yo, you guys are not this or that, or you need to, sorry, that was my cue that my battery's dying again. You need to get over, your insecurities about what is going to be your happy relationship or life together, because like you aren't fulfilling each other's needs. Literally, you're not connecting there, and you really do love each other and connect. You need to involve a person or some spice or a new activity. So you guys need to talk about what's keeping you back, what were you afraid to express and talk about, why that happened and how it created a fight. And then you need to open up to the ending it's gonna involve, because something's gonna feel a bit crap, like, oh well, that's done with, that stage of our relationship is done, that version of us or me is done. Like, this is how this makes me feel, like I'm, losing or not having something, or something we tried for didn't work out to begin with. And then look to the new possibilities, look to the new beginning, look to where you're going together from that. What is the new foundation? What blooming is coming from this? What great, amazing other things and prospects you want to have together and to get excited over and to experiment and go through to like see if it works for you guys or not, right? Like, you gotta go there. You can't just stay mad at each other and insecure, especially when you're obviously in fucking love. There we go. Goddamn, like it is a big uncomfortable thing. But you guys can see it, you can figure it out, and you can have that emotional exchange, like you just kind of need to be okay with being honest and showing yourselves and being uncomfortable and scared about how the other person is going to react, and then giving that person the space they need to process or to admit their own feelings, and not get scared of like maybe a little bit of shouting or a little bit of emotional breakthrough or breakdown or whatever, right? Or like worry and fear and then calming each other down, or whatever you guys need to go through. It's kind of like you can have that exchange and there will be balance from it. But that's how change comes to begin with. That's how you get your answers. Three of freaking swords again at the bottom, but the sun at the top. So this is a great emotional breakthrough. This is a pain that is gonna unite you, because it's gonna show you where you are unhappy, how your relationships wouldn't have worked to begin with, and both of you are on the same page. Like, best example I have vaguely. It's probably not going to correlate, but like how people thought that the only way they progress in their relationship was like getting kids, because they grew up, everyone was talking about kids, kids, kids. Everyone has kids. Families are kids only. If you don't have kids, you're not a family. It took a while for people to get it into their thick heads or around the societal change that you're a family without any of those things. If you're a couple and you love each other and you're a family of your own two people or with your, furry babies or whoever else, then you're a family. So this is the same thing. And it's such a big relief for those people when they finally have that conversation. They're like, I don't want them. Do you want them? No, no, no. I got freaked out. You want them. Oh my fucking God. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this. This isn't us. This isn't where we're going. This isn't our joy or happiness. I feel like this is something a lot more promiscuous. But either way, it's both of yours like fear and pain. Both of you got the same impression from the same sources or the same experiences. Both of you had the same like agonizing thoughts or feelings, and you couldn't face them. And both of you kind of shut it down at some point of your own development, and it's coming back up because both of you are ready to shift and change and to evolve into a better like experience between you two and a vibe together, like you're ready to illuminate this, like, and come back to that playful, joyful, childlike like wonder or like passion and endeavor and like not tee hee hee ha ha like vibe of like we're fine, it's okay, we can ride it to the sunset, we're gonna be okay. Um, we can use this to become happier than we are instead of like putting ourselves down as like they don't love us, this is a bad thing, this will ruin our relationship, like rainfall and misery. And it's like, this doesn't need to be a stormy night. You just own up to it, Take your time, maybe. Work up to it. I don't know. Break the ice. Use an opportunity. Have a vacation. Go out on a limb and have like a night out where it comes about. I don't know. Go get drunk together for all I care. Whatever you need to do, just do it. Like, just do it. I don't recommend this, but sometimes it works for some people and it's coming through. Kind of try to force the situation and then have it not work out, and you just sit down and you have the conversation you were super avoiding because the thing you wanted to do to just have fun and relax and maybe just do whatever the thing was didn't work out. And so it not working out made you force you to like sit down and have a conversation, and then the transformation from it came in. Either way, you got to come out of your shells because this is literally like for your relationship to grow and be closer, and for you to be like, oh wow, I didn't know, I thought this was like a bad or whatever thing. You're breaking some type of like societal programming or something, or both of you were grown up and have grown up in like a very conventional family of some sort, or I don't know, you saw relationships do only one thing, or you've seen this variety and this is like the new thing that's now coming up and is gonna be like the hot shit in about, I don't know, maybe 10 years, maybe 5 years, right? Maybe next year. Maybe it's very rare and underground now. And most relationships don't talk about it if they're doing it, but it's their happiness. It's obviously like a very loving relationship. It's just unique. It's different. It's quirky. It's its own shit. Like, it's its own thing. It's its own vibe. You gotta be in it to get it. But you guys are also like, it's new. It's learning. It's also inconvenient, I think, in terms of time or something. But like, I feel like someone just said like very inconvenient in terms of time. Like, you don't know the half of it, sister. And I'm like, okay, get it. I get it. But that like, when is it really the best time to have those conversations? When's it ever the good moment for the convo we need to have, or for stuff to happen? There's never a convenient time for uncomfortable, sad or bad things, or things that are just like very fresh, new, and unconventional, and are that movement forward, You gotta just do it, guys. I'm looking at like I want to end where I want to get some more cards because my phone is possibly gonna die. Let me check the battery because I don't know how long this is gonna go for if I start channeling advice and stuff. Okay, yeah, I needed to plug it in because it was like 11%, which is a very good number for this reading. Um, yeah, so I'm being pulled to this whole quadrant of cards, and I'm losing my damn voice as I'm having that occur. And I'm still staring at it. I'm like, I don't get what the hell is happening here. Like, you need to come out of your shell of who you really are. I think you met each other. Okay, it feels like you both met each other and you were honest and upfront as who you are, but you were also like realizing who you are as you were together. And then I think you both realized that you're not a certain thing anymore. You're like way more than you thought you were before. You were playing it down. You were also trying to not scare each other. And it's kind of like, you know, how people hide who they are until they're sure that they can start showing who they are. And then a lot of the time when they start doing that, they start losing more people because they weren't upfront and honest with who they were to begin with, which you need to be to attract the right people that aren't going to leave you. It's very rare you're gonna find people that are the same vibe and aren't gonna leave you for who you are when you start like showing your true colors. If you're hiding everything about yourself that is real or personal or intimate, right? Especially within relationships and all the other things. Like the 2020, 2023 period was a whole example of how people either broke up because they were connected through only one experience of who they are because of life circumstances, and vice versa, right? They broke up after everything ended because they were together only because of certain life circumstances. They couldn't make it work when it started to change and shift, and they evolved as people into a whole bigger, bigger view of who they truly are and how they are. So here it's like coming out of the closet almost. I don't know what kind of closet both of you were in. You're lucky that you found each other who, will like you will get that for each other. Maybe both of your closets complement each other. Maybe because it more so seems like you're in the same closet. You just don't know it yet. And you're both coming out of it. And you might both have that shitty experience of coming out of the fucking closet, and maybe one of you is going to be more privy than the other one, and one of you, because they're not privy to it, is going to just be freaking out half of the time. Either way, you're both in a closet and it feels like the same closet, and if it's not, then it's a very compatible couple of closets. Um, and you can come out in your full view. And if it's like still a process of gaining strength to like have it all come into like this one a solid understanding of who you are as an individual and how then you come into a relationship, it's still a case of like you gotta trust the process that like you illuminating this and learning through it and being so uneasy and naive and everything is the path to like strengthening this relationship, because if you don't do it, you're hiding from yourselves and you're really kind of you're gonna wreck it. This is kind of point of no return if you don't go through this and you don't do it. It's either a break it or make it situation, or make it and break it, or whatever you want to call it. And the heartache of it is necessary so you both you don't just have each other for that growth and heartache and change and shift, right? And healing of it, but also so you both have like a partner as a reference point, it almost seems like, because the sun is staring you right in the face. The love you have for each other, the in love, the passion, the attachment, the deep like yearning and longing and everything else that you have for each other is very real, and it's not going anywhere. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's not meant to go anywhere. You're a unique, particular couple that is meant to be this way, and you are coming into full bloom, full view. You're maturing to that level at the same time together, and that's one of the most beautiful things you could fucking say about any couple ever. Not many get here, not many feel this way, not many are so aligned. Is kind of just trusting the process of like giving into the no-no, whatever the no-no is here, because it'll be the victory that creates your humble abode, that creates like your feeling and sense of home, of commitment, of unity, of like getting what you need and what you want to be happy together. Like instead of being left out in the cold and then being heartbroken over the point that you just had a fight and both of you said things that you didn't mean. You just need to, transition together. So I feel like that's it. I don't think we need to delve into it. I think this was a very detailed, very good upfront reading about how things have gone and where you're going and what to do. Hope you guys go through this well. If it gets really messy, just hold on to the faith that it's gonna work out. I feel like it's maybe you need to just feel it out and think about it and kind of like sort it out in the astral, in dream time, or telepathically before you have this communication conversation in the physical, in the 3D, because I feel like the masculine, whoever that is, might have more hangups on this than the feminine. I feel like the feminine is more okay with experimenting, whatever that means here, and the masculine is kind of like whichever gender you apply, it's kind of like what type of man or what type of woman would I be if I'd be okay with this type of thing? And it's like you'd be fine. Why are you labeling yourself by some type of freaking stupid ass societal norm that doesn't respect neither men nor women to begin with? You'll be fine, you know? You'll be a more well-rounded person altogether, whoever you are, regardless of how you are, is just, like don't let that masculine energy go out of check and start yapping on and barking and being like controlling and contradicting its own path to happiness because it's just afraid of change. I feel like I just kind of told someone off, but much love to you. Best of luck to you. I hope you go through this. If you like this message and it helped you, please leave a like. Check out my link tree for more stuff that I do. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace, 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 and have a good one. Thank you.